I'm Stacy Slade, and I've had Bernese Mountain Dog since 2003. I've had dogs my whole life, and I started in 4-H at the age of 10. This is Deuce, who just came in front of the camera, and this is Chase. These are my two Bernese Mountain Dogs. I co-own many with other people, important dogs that are their pets, and some are show dogs and some aren't. And I wanted to share a little bit about this breed and why they're special to me. And I let these two be part of the video, whichever way they determine they're going to be part of. They are my life, and it's something that's important to me to share the best way to get a Bernese Mountain Dog. A lot of people, yes, Chase wants to help too. Hi guys, stop. So a lot of people are curious as to how to get a Bernese Mountain Dog. What's the best way to find a breeder? And, well, best way to find a puppy, actually. And my thought is to share with you how to find a breeder. Lay down. And to find a good breeder it's important to make sure that you understand what a good breeder is, what a preservation breeder is someone who wants to preserve this awesome breed, the health, the temperament. Try and breed for longevity. We have a lot of issues with cancer in our breed, so there's a lot of great breeders working to make that a forefront of important decision making in their breeding. So you want to make sure that you're finding a breeder that is accessible, that's honest, open, and shares information with you openly. Now, how do you know what information you need besides do you have puppies available? One of the most important things, you guys are really helpful. One of the most important things is that with this breed, because the longevity is 7 to 9 years, you want to make sure that you are finding a breeder that is helpful in telling you what pitfalls they have in their own pedigree as well as the strengths. Every single pedigree in Bernese Mountain Dogs has challenges, and each has its own strength and to what you can find within that pedigree. It's important to ask a breeder what the health clearances are on the mother and father of a litter. And by health clearances, I mean hips, elbows, eyes, and heart for starters. Then you can go further into von Willebrand's degeneromyelopathy if they've been contributing to the pre-histio test that we're doing in France to see if we can try and figure out the genetic markers for histiocytic sarcoma. So a lot of those things are what preservation breeders are doing consistently and helping with trying to preserve our breed and making sure that this breed lasts well into my old age, I can hope. So when you talk to a breeder, you want to make sure that they're open and honest about the health clearances. I can tell you easily that Chase has fair hips, good elbows, she passed her heart, she passed her eyes, and I can show you those on a database called Bernregard.org. Bernregard is a fantastic health database for Bernese Mountain Dogs that many people that are really into preserving the health of the breed, for researchers alike, Deuce, stop. And being able to make sure that we are trying to understand where our challenges are in the breed, at what age, and from what dogs are living to and dying from. So we can understand what we have as a breed, not just breeding dogs to breed dogs. So Bernregard.org, I'm going to try and get to show you guys a little bit about how to find this database. If you go online to Bernregard.org, I have it up on my computer. And so this is the logo you're looking for. You're looking for this bar right here says click here to access the database. So you want to access the database, you go right there. You can read all about the history of Bernregard, but the crux of the database is this side of your screen right here, where you can research people, litters, dogs, and you can go into photos and submitting data on your own dog right here, which is important for show dogs and pet dogs alike. So if you want to search by a person, a breeder that you're working with, you can type in their name right there, and they should come up on the database. If they don't, I would be concerned that they're not breeding for the health of Bernese Mountain Dogs. you want to make sure that the puppy that you're getting, both parents are in Burner Guard and all their health clearances are in there. So you can go to each dog and find their health clearances. Deuce, stop. He's getting silly. You want to come up here? Something I want to share with you when you're researching puppies and researching breeders is to make sure that you're very patient. It can take, Deuce, stop, get off, get off, sit, stay. It can take up to a year to get a puppy, sometimes even longer if you're specific about the breeder that you want to get a puppy from. So being patient, finding a good breeder is so important when you are researching the breed and finding a good puppy. So for example, a breeder like myself, I don't have a litter every year. I try sometimes, but I have a litter every 3 years. Chase, come here. Chase. Oh, that Deuce instead. Sit. So this is my problem with allowing these guys to be part of my video, is that you can see some of their goofy temperaments. They're wonderful dogs. But they're worth waiting for, and they're worth waiting for getting a good one from a good breeder that's going to support you if you have questions, if you need help, if, let's say, your puppy is, comes in season, you don't know what to do with that, or has some diarrhea when it's a puppy, you can call your breeder and ask them. A good breeder should be accessible to you. When you're looking for a puppy, you may not necessarily see the dad and the dad of the litter, because a lot of us breeders will ship in semen from across the country, overseas, to try and find the best match for our dogs. And because I do breed so I can get a dog to show, but I also produce pets for everybody, and including my own pets. So my show dogs are my pets. So there's really no distinction in a litter between a show dog and a pet, because they're all pets. As you can see, these guys are my pets as much as they're a show dog. Okay, buddy, stop. You're getting a little silly. So we're just having fun now. So it's important that you find a breeder that is willing to work with you. A lot of times a breeder won't necessarily let you pick out your puppy, because they're gonna fit the best puppy with the temperament, with what your lifestyle and what you're looking for in a puppy. I wanted to share with you a little bit about how I plan and research a litter that I'm waiting for. Is for me, it's important to fit my female and a male that brings the right temperament, structural, and breed type to the table for my female. So I want to make sure I'm picking the right male, not just the same male every single time for the same female. So it's important that you guys stop playing. It's important that you find a breeder that is looking for specific traits in every breed they're doing. They're not just doing the same breeding over and over again, because that person is probably just breeding for money and not breeding to improve the breed. I make sure in each litter that I have that both parents have all their health clearances, both parents have good temperaments, and they're adding something to my breeding program that I can move forward with and continuing to improve the breed. So when a breeder tells you, like I said, that Chase has clear elbows and fair hips, she has clear eyes, clear heart, she has her DM status on Burner Guard, she's been tested for the histiocytic pretest that we just sent blood off to France, you can reference that in the Burner Guard database that I showed you. So it's important, it's like a Carfax almost. So as a puppy buyer, you can go into that database and find, come here, Chase, and find her clearances that I told you that are there. So it's almost a way for you as a buyer beware, you can find out the answers to all your questions about my puppies and my dogs that I have. So you can reference their health and find out for yourself instead of just taking my word for it. I'd like to be able to believe everybody what they say, and so in this way you can just verify it, and as a breeder, I'm completely open and honest about what I'm doing, and so you should be able to check it there. Stop, Deuce, sit. Thank you, good boy. when looking for a burner, it is important to have a conversation with a couple different breeders and tell those breeders that you are talking with many different people, and get a good sense for what breeders, what's important to them. And breeding a dog, is it different thing? Are they just simply looking to sell you puppies? Are they telling you something like a blue eye is rare, which is actually a fault? It's rare because it shouldn't be bred, and sometimes it comes out, and sometimes it's in our litters for we get a recessive gene that we didn't know was there. But we wouldn't sell a responsible preservation breeder's not going to sell you on that it's rare and it's special and they're going to charge you more money. That's not the case. So and also I wanted to go through markings. So Deuce is going to help us with markings. So markings are an important part of our breed, but they are not the only part of our breed. It's important that you look at the dog and the temperament first, and then the markings. We have a saying that you build them first, paint them later. You want a good temperament, you want a fun dog that's going to be sound and healthy before you buy markings. I know they're pretty, and I know it's why a lot of people get Bernese. In fact, my first burner, I still have the email to remind myself, the first boy I purchased, I asked the breeder I wanted a nice show quality male with a wide white blaze. I cringe when I see that now as a breeder, because I build these dogs first, and I try and work on good temperaments. As you can see here, she's not going to leave my side. Good temperaments and sound bodies, and then we put the paint on. But so just try and keep that in mind if there's a super dark puppy or a puppy with a lot of white, to realize that they're still an amazing dog and they're no different than the other dogs in the litter. Okay, Chase, I gotta move over. So if you have any questions about buying a puppy, finding a right breeder, feel free to ask. I think the best resource to go to find a good breeder is to find, so I live near Seattle, so I would type in Seattle Bernese Mountain Dog Club, and I'm gonna find the Bernese Mountain Dog of Greater Seattle, and talk to that club about what breeders in the area are good breeders. They should have a good list of breeders that are club members that are trying to do all the right things with health testing. They can also send you to people that potentially might have puppies and room on their list to purchase a puppy. They can also tell you where the local shows are, which breeders like myself will be at, to make sure that we're showing our dogs, to make sure that we're not kennel blind, and that they actually are really good Bernese Mountain Dogs that will benefit the breed by breeding them if they have their health clearances. So finding your local club. You can also go to BMDCA, which stands for Bernese Mountain Dog Club of America, bmdca.org. And they have a great breeder referral list that you can go through. And some of these breeders, they're super busy. They work 40 to 50 hours a week like I do, and they can't necessarily get back to your email right away. But stick with them if you like their breeding program. Some have websites, some don't. Some have social media sites, some don't. That doesn't mean that they're better or worse as a breeder. It just means that they have different priorities. So get to know a couple different breeders, go to shows, go to club events. They're each club for, like, Club of Illinois. That's a Bernese Mountain Dog Club of Illinois. Google that and you'll find out when that club's next events are, and go to those events. The Seattle Club, we have lots of cool events like draft tests. We have campouts, we have Oktoberfest, New Year's parties. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with your burner besides the showing. For me, I like to do draft work, I like to show, I like to do obedience, tracking. What else do you do? I don't know, we have lots of fun. And most of all, I love cuddling with my dogs on the couch. As you can see, she is no stranger to being a lap dog, which these guys are. So research the breed. The other thing, if you are desiring to become a member of the BMDCA, you get a quarterly publication called the Alpenhorn, and it has really cool articles about Bernese Mountain Dogs, about the different events that we do throughout the year, different dogs, but it also has health information, it has event information. No, you don't get to take that, Deuce. Also, it's important to research the breed, find out a little bit more what this breed is. They are a long hair. Yes, they shed at least twice a year. Yes, it's a lot of hair. You do need to groom them. They do need frequent baths to get the dead hair out so you don't get hot spots. How much they eat, what the best thing is to feed them, which Everybody will tell you something different, but quality food is important. Probiotics are important to make sure their GI system stays healthy. You know, being diligent with the orthopedics and making sure they're not launching themselves off beds, out of pickup trucks or any car, and so you do protect those joints until the growth plates have closed. And making sure that, you know, they are with you. This is a breed in all obviousness that loves to be with you, and it's important that you have a lifestyle that you can spend time with your dog, be with them, and then be with you. They don't do well being outside all day and all night. They are a family dog, and they do need training. They're a big dog. They can get up to 130 pounds, about 130 pounds. Some of the girls are 80 pounds to 100, but they need training, and they need training at least for the first year of their life. So be willing to commit to that, and making sure that you have that time and energy to give to a new puppy. It's not just a puppy kindergarten class and you're done, because that becomes a 100-pound dog that acts very differently when they're a lot bigger and in the teenage years. So feel free to ask any questions in the comments. I am happy to answer as much as I can, but Bernese are an investment worth making, but it's also an investment worth making into a good breeder that's trying to do the right thing and preserve this breed, doing the health clearances. And you know, there's not a lot of us out there. There are plenty to get a good puppy, but you might have to wait and be patient to get the puppy with good health. And it's not always a guarantee, but we do stack the deck in favor of the health of the puppy to make sure you get a healthy puppy, and we'll stand by that puppy and help you out no matter what you face with your puppy from a responsible breeder. So I think that's all I wanted to cover here. I can go in later to another video on some additional details, but you know, and going out to purchase your puppy, find a good breeder first. That's all I can tell you, is really work hard to find a breeder that will be there through the life of your dog and help you out no matter what. And they're definitely worth it. They're an amazing breed, and I hope I have them for years to come. So have a wonderful time finding your Bernese Mountain Dog puppy and enjoying it and taking good care of it, and hopefully we'll see you at regional club events in your area to get to know you, and we can share with you a lot of the different things that we do with our dogs, but the most important thing is to love them very much. Enjoy your burners.